Emmanuel Macron has urged fellow European Union leaders to keep pushing until the UK caves into its demands, according to Brussels insiders. The French president has been among the more vocal supporters of the EU's hardline approach and has vowed to veto any Brexit deal if the terms fail to meet the demands of his country's fishing industry. His demands come despite Boris Johnson insisting the UK will thrive with or without a deal from January after the transition period ends on December 31. Mr. Macron is also understood to have rejected Mr. Johnson's calls for face-to-face talks in a bid to break the Brexit deadlock. According to diplomats, Mr. Macron told his EU counterparts, "Keep pushing and the British will fold." But Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said the French were crazy to make aggressive demands when a no-deal scenario would leave their boats with zero assured access to UK fishing grounds. Talks on a post-Brexit trade deal are continuing after Mr. Johnson and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen agreed to push back today's deadline. In a joint statement, they agreed to go the extra mile in an effort to find a solution after almost a year of negotiations. The statement said, "We had a useful phone call this morning. We discussed the major unresolved topics. Our negotiating teams have been working day and night over recent days. And, despite the exhaustion after almost a year of negotiations, despite the fact that deadlines have been missed over and over, we think it is responsible at this point to go the extra mile. We have accordingly mandated our negotiators to continue the talks and to see whether an agreement can even at this late stage be reached." The agreement to carry on talking came despite pessimistic briefings from both sides of the negotiations in the run-up to the deadline set for Sunday on the future of the process. Mr. Raab suggested there could be room for maneuver on the end point of the negotiations over a free trade agreement. He said there is a long way to go to find a resolution on the two outstanding issues of fisheries and so-called level playing field ratchet clause which would tie the UK to future EU standards. Mr. Raab told BBC One's Andrew Marr show the bar that would need to be crossed to continue talking is quite high, suggesting that some movement must have been achieved for Mr. Johnson and Ms. von der Leyen to reach that conclusion. He said, "We would need at a political level a commitment to move on those two key issues.